I'll never forget the sound of the whistling that night. It wasn't the wind, not like the other times. This one was different, sharp, eerie, like someone calling for you to come closer. And that's what made me freeze, my blood running cold. I shouldn't have gone up that mountain. It started when my cousins and I decided to visit Uncle Kofi. We were just kids, full of adventure, and my younger cousins, Kwaku and Ama, were excited to see the big man up on the mountain. We were supposed to stay for a week, help out with the harvest, but none of us expected what was about to happen. When we got there, Uncle Kofi gave each of us a task. The oldest, that was me, was to carry a bag of corn seeds, the heaviest of all. Kwaku, the middle one, was given a smaller bag, while Ama, the youngest, had the tiniest one. We walked up the narrow path, joking around until we reached the foot of the mountain. It was steep, and it felt like we were climbing forever. As we went, Kwaku and Ama started getting annoyed with me. I was slower carrying the big bag of corn, and they were tired of having to wait. They didn't understand why I couldn't keep up. Soon their patience wore thin, and they decided to leave me behind. Without a word, they turned and ran down the path, laughing like nothing was wrong. "Hey, come back!" I shouted, but they were already gone. I didn't know what to do. I stood there for a minute, debating whether to follow them or stay. But Uncle Kofi had been very clear. We needed to get to the top by sundown. So I pushed on, determined to finish my task. As I walked alone, the sun started to dip low, casting long shadows across the path. That's when I saw the bridge. It wasn't like any bridge I had ever seen before. It stretched across a deep ravine, but something about it made my stomach twist. It felt like the air itself was thicker, colder. I was about to cross when I remembered something Uncle Kofi had said. Never cross that bridge after dark, it's cursed. But it was already late and I was so close. What could go wrong? As I stepped onto the bridge, a strange feeling washed over me, like I wasn't alone. I could hear a soft whistling sound, almost like wind blowing through a tree, but there was no wind. My heart pounded in my chest as the sound grew louder. I froze. I looked down the path, but my cousins were nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, a low voice echoed from the darkness. "Do you have an offering?" I stood still, trying to figure out where the voice had come from. There was no one there, just the empty path ahead of me. The whistling began again, louder now, and I saw it, a shape, a shadow moving at the edge of the bridge. It was like a person, but it wasn't. It was more like a blur, shifting and twisting. I remembered the one in an offering of a white cloth or silver corn, but I had nothing. I was empty-handed. I swallowed hard, feeling my throat dry up. The spirits, I realized, they were coming for me. I had no offering. The whistling grew louder, and then I heard it, a second voice, much closer now. "You don't belong here, we take what's ours." I turned to run, but before I could move, a figure appeared on the other side of the bridge. A shadow. It wasn't human. It looked like a person, but the eyes, those eyes, they were hollow, dark, and I could feel the pull of them, like they were dragging me closer. And then the worst part, the other side of the bridge opened up. No, it wasn't an opening. It was a trap, a trap filled with creatures, things with pale skin and red eyes waiting for their prey, blood suckers. The legends, I was trapped. I had nowhere to go. Just as I was about to scream, I heard the distant sound of a car engine. The whistling stopped. The shadows paused, and for a moment, everything went still. Then headlights flashed across the bridge and a police car appeared, its siren blaring. The spirits hissed, but the car was a barrier, a force that kept them back. The car skidded to a stop and two officers rushed out. I don't know how they found me, but they did. They grabbed me, pulling me toward the safety of the car as the spirits retreated into the night, fading back into the darkness. I don't remember much after that. I just remember being in the back of that police car, shaking, watching the mountain fade behind me as we drove away. That's the last time I went near that bridge, and the last time I saw my cousins. I never did find them. But sometimes when the wind blows at night, I still hear the whistling, and I know they're still out there waiting for the next person to cross.